The goal of this video will be to educate people on how flying works in Super Mario World, and to show you how to optimize your flying habits for the sake of speedrunning. If you're watching this video, chances are you probably have a good handle on how flying already works, but let me give you a review anyway. Holding forward will make Mario dive into the ground. Pressing back will make him bounce upward, and holding back will make him slowly glide towards the ground. However, what you didn't know is when you're holding forward, Mario's maximum horizontal speed cycles between 51, 50, 49, 48, and 47 subpixels per frame every frame. And when you're not holding forward, Mario's speed will lock onto the last value it cycled through. Optimal flying will cause Mario to continuously fly at speed 51, which is about 11.95 blocks per second. The worst Mario could fly is when his speed is constantly 47, in which he'll move 11.02 blocks per second. For example, Donut Plains 1 is about 300 blocks long, so if Mario flew through the level at these two speeds continuously, he would finish in 27.2 and 25.1 seconds respectively, which is a difference of 2.1 seconds. Quite a big difference just per flying speed. By tapping forward just a little bit, you can cycle through Mario's speed to a different value without diving to the ground. It's very difficult to pick the exact value you want because the number changes 60 times per second. In real time, it's reasonable to assume that the speed you get is randomly picked from the 5 values. Going by this, we can say that if Mario has a speed of 49, adjusting his speed will result in an equal chance of him speeding up or slowing down. If his speed is 47 or 48, it would be wiser to adjust his speed because there's a better chance that he'll speed up. And just the opposite, if Mario's speed is 50 or 51, it'd be better not to adjust his speed because there's a smaller chance he'll speed up. We can use this information to decide whether we want to adjust his flying speed or not. Luckily, there's a somewhat reliable way of telling how fast Mario is flying without looking at the memory. One of Mario's flying speeds is 48 subpixels per frame, which is equal to 3 pixels per frame, which is a whole number. When Mario is flying at this speed, the screen will scroll very smoothly. You shouldn't notice any jitteriness in any of the land or pipes scrolling by unless the game is lagging. When Mario's speed is 47, he'll fly at 2.9375 pixels per frame. This means he'll move 3 pixels per frame for 15 frames and then only 2 pixels on the 16th frame. This oddball frame, we'll call it jitter because you'll be able to notice very easily when the screen is scrolling at this speed. Similarly, if Mario's speed is 49, he'll be moving at 3.0625 pixels per frame. This means he'll move 3 pixels per frame for 15 frames and then 4 pixels on the 16th frame. This jitter is actually different than the one before, however they're very difficult to distinguish. If Mario's speed is 50, he'll move at 3.125 pixels per frame, which means he'll move at 3 pixels per frame for 7 frames, 4 pixels on the 8th frame, 3 pixels each for 7 more frames, and then 4 pixels on the 16th frame. This results in 2 jitters for every 16 frames. And finally, if Mario's speed is 51, he'll move 3.1875 pixels per frame. This means Mario will move 3 pixels per frame for 4 frames, 4 pixels on the 5th frame, 3 pixels each for 4 frames, 4 pixels on the 10th frame, 3 pixels each for 5 more frames, and then 4 pixels on the 16th frame. This results in 3 small jitters and 1 large jitter for every 16 frames. This is because the groups of frames are not the same size. Using this, we can then approximately measure what Mario's speed is just by how jittery the screen is while it's scrolling. In general, the more jittery the screen is, the faster Mario's moving. To review, we know we should adjust when Mario's speed is 47 or 48 and should not adjust his speed when he's moving at 50 or 51 subpixels per frame. And if his speed is 49, then the chances are equal. We also know that if Mario's speed is 47 or 49, the screen will jitter once every 16 frames. If Mario's speed is 48, the screen won't jitter at all. If his speed is 50, the screen will jitter twice every 16 frames. And if his speed is 51, the screen will jitter 3 times. Combining these two pieces of information, we should adjust Mario's speed only if the screen is not jittering or only jittering once every 16 frames. If we adjust then, it'll more likely result in Mario speeding up instead of slowing down. From here, it's just up to you to be able to distinguish how jittery the screen is. When you're measuring for jitteriness, make sure not to look at the background and to only look at things like pipes, the ground, coins, etc. I personally find speeds 48 and 51 to be very easy to single out. It should be easy to tell when the screen is moving very smoothly, and like I said before, when Mario's speed is 51, the screen jitters quite a bit. I hope you can use this information to help you fast fly. Thanks for watching.